you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
The holidays are right around the corner. This is a great year to give your family and loved ones the gift of shoes to encourage them to stay active. Fleet Feet Lincoln fits you properly for shoes, and they offer a free group that meets 3 days a week, plus other training programs and a walking group on Mondays. Get healthy, stay healthy with proper shoe wear from Fleet Feet Lincoln and a group of friends that will support you and keep you accountable. Start your health adventure at Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
It's football season, and that means coaches everywhere are busy making game plans. I'm Matt Knipe with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand that no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. We are relentless trial attorneys serving all of Nebraska. To learn more, go to libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary with you. What's up, Rico?
Hello.
How's the day?
So far, fantastic.
Good. That's what we like to hear. We're going to keep it rolling here with a little bit of transfer portal stuff. The good news is Nebraska, to this point, hasn't had anybody make their intentions public that they are planning to enter the transfer portal.
Yet.
I will tell you this also, that there have been 284 public entries into the transfer portal across college football, and that's according to on3.com. 2 of those have committed. And in the last hour, there's been 2 Big Ten quarterbacks that have announced their intentions to transfer.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is from Virginia, played at Michigan State. Quarterback Noah Kim has officially entered the transfer portal.
That one's interesting.
Second Big Ten quarterback to enter in the last hour from a fellow Big Ten West.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Ethan Kaliakmanis.
Interesting.
So Minnesota's starting quarterback and a quarterback that was starting for Michigan State for a while prior to an injury, they both have announced their intentions to transfer. Now,
is that all 3 Michigan State quarterbacks in the portal?
Yes, and I have to add it to my list. So I'll start right now, but first, I have to go through the spiel.
Yep.
402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line are both open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. We got a loaded show for you guys today. We have, obviously, transfer portal news, and then I kind of teased it yesterday on the show, but I want to get into this conversation, the nitty-gritty conversation of Nebraska cannot afford to miss on a quarterback for the second year in a row.
No.
And people are going to be like, yeah, well, done, Nick. Of course. They had a quarterback that turned it over a lot. They had a team that turned it over 31 times this season. I get that. But looking deeper at the entire program and what this means for Matt Rule, what this means for the outlook of guys like Marcus Satterfield, players around him, the surrounding talent, it's a very, very deep subject to kind of talk about. So I want to dive deep into that, or at least start to talk a little bit about it. Who knows? We could get off track with other transfer portal news. So yeah, I'm keeping a spreadsheet right now of Power 5 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, just Power 5.
Just the P5.
Just Power 5 quarterbacks that have transferred, and I'm going to obviously update it as each one commits
What about
to a
group
new
of
school.
5?
No.
Do you just want to do D1, D1
No.
FBS?
Because there's a lot.
I
There's
feel
a
like
lot.
I feel like there's a lot more FCS. There's
No,
one.
no.
So there's one. I know that
Rico,
there's one.
As somebody that's stared at the transfer portal list,
Okay, I know, but I know that there's one.
you are more than welcome
FCS
to do group of 5.
I'm not a
Exactly.
spreadsheet guy.
You're not a work guy.
That's rude. Quarterback out of New Hampshire
Yep.
who is being targeted by Minnesota.
Yeah, crystal ball right now, if you believe in those crystal balls, pegs him to go to Western Michigan.
No, if he's getting targeted by Power 5 teams, he's going Power 5. He ain't going to Western Michigan.
You don't want to go in the MAC?
No, I'm trying to go somewhere where I'm going to get seen. Well, it's Maction. Everybody loves Maction. You know what?
We talk about DeQuan Finn all the time
know
on
what?
this program.
You know what? Maybe. The dude
So-
has, what, 80 touchdowns in his 4 years? 70 passing, 10
70
rushing?
passing, 10 rushing, yes.
I don't know his name.
And the guy that you are talking about is Max Brosmer.
That guy.
Max Brosmer, a senior from Roswell, Georgia. He is from New Hampshire, as you mentioned, entered the portal back on November 24th. He is crystal ball to go to Western Kentucky now.
Ooh, Hilltoppers.
Western Kentucky and
fan.
Western Michigan both are
Big Western guy.
big Western guy.
Northwestern.
Speaking of Northwestern, David Braun wins Coach of the Year in the Big Ten Conference.
As he should.
Well deserved from Coach Braun. I mean, just an unbelievable story there, and a really nice job by Northwestern locking him down.
Mhm.
Because now, especially that Duke has an opening, that's certainly a place that would have maybe tried to swipe
Would have been interesting.
David Braun. So
Duke hires Pat Fitzgerald.
we're going through all of these texts, the transfer portal quarterbacks, and you guys can chime into the show once again, 464-5685, the phone number to call and text. Just a couple of the names that I should say that are from Power 5 that are on my spreadsheet currently.
Mhm.
I'll just go down the list. Blake Shapen at Baylor.
Don't care.
Jet Huff at Houston.
No.
Dexter Williams II and Brendan Sorsby from Indiana.
Nope.
Spencer Petras from Iowa.
Interested? Not really. I'm kidding.
Jake Rubley and Will Howard from Kansas State.
Will Howard is interesting.
Why? What makes you say interesting behind these guys' names or not interesting?
Will Howard led Kansas State to a Big 12 championship last year.
That's true.
He struggled a little bit this year. Totally different team. But I still think that he has the goods. I'd be interested in a Will Howard to Nebraska.
I have a feeling he's going to be going SEC.
He is definitely not going to Nebraska.
Tyler Van Dyke from Miami.
He was a Heisman favorite at the beginning of the season, and then
Mhm.
things got real.
So from Miami, then we have the 3 Michigan State Spartans: Noah Kim, Caton Hauser, and Sam Levitt.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan Kaliak-Manis that we just mentioned from Minnesota.
He's just a more successful Heinrich Harburg.
Tanner Morgan. Will Rogers from Mississippi State.
That good.
Jefferson Boaz from North Carolina.
I like the name.
Max Johnson from A&M. He's now projected to go to North Carolina
Wasn't Nebraska in on him the first time he transferred?
after he transferred from LSU.
Yeah.
Yes. But there's some reasons behind the scenes why Max Johnson would not be on the top of the list.
I don't care.
Anyway, so Tyler Shaw
How
From-
is that pronounced?
from Texas Tech.
Yes.
That's certainly one to probably keep an eye on.
He led Oregon to a Pac-12 championship back
That's
when
right.
he was there.
Nate Johnson from Utah. AJ
I love
Swan.
my Utah quarterbacks.
AJ Swan from Vanderbilt. And then the 2 quarterbacks from Wake Forest, Mitch Griffiths and Santino Marucci.
So which one of them goes to Notre Dame?
Neither. Neither. Notre Dame is losing a lot of players to the transfer portal.
Yeah,
though.
but Notre Dame just got a quarterback
They did. But
out of
Um,
Nebraska.
so we'll see. We'll see how kind of things unfold. I'm sure more quarterbacks will obviously enter into the portal. But I mean, once again, you want to talk about it. 284 players have entered into the transfer portal so far in just 3 or 4 days. That we have guys that are already, skipping bowl games, announces that they're skipping bowl games. Jay Davis,
That's fun.
who is the starting running back for Kentucky, announced that he's going to go to the NFL draft, skip the bowl game. You have a couple interesting wide receivers out there as well.
Yeah.
Obviously headlined by probably Chris Tyree, also a couple USC guys that are out there as well. So there's a lot of just names to kind of keep an eye on as Nebraska transitions into this time where they don't want to spend money on transfers.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to kind of continue into our next segment and the conversation there. They don't want to spend time or spend money on transfers. And that's okay to a certain extent. They want to go through the high school route and maybe the JUCO route, which is okay.
But
the day and age of college football, though, and with instantaneous turnarounds, needing instant success, or at least signs of progress, it tells you that maybe in these early seasons of Matt Rule, they need to invest.
yes.
And that's where it gets kind of interesting because it's going to go against probably what Matt Rule wants to do. And that's okay. I think Nebraska fans are happy that Matt Rule is on the side of we don't want to spend an arm and a leg for transfer portal guys instead of being on the side where it's we are okay dropping millions of dollars on guys and hoping they work out. I think Nebraska fans are of this mindset of, listen, we don't want to pay guys, but if that's what it's going to take to get back into the winning ways in these first couple of years while Matt Rule continues to kind of build and develop the guys that are below them on the depth chart, then we can suffer through that mentality for the first couple of years and then work at the high school level, because they'll have a developed program. You would expect.
That's my thing is I understand if you don't want to spend money in the transfer portal and you don't want to have to drop all of this cash to bring guys in for instantaneous fixes. But at the same time, you're going to need, with how young your team is, and I understand that you had some of them get some experience this year, with how young your team is and you wanting to build through the high school ranks, you're going to need to get a couple of players here and there in the transfer portal who maybe they are just rental players. Maybe they are just, 1 to 2 year players, but they're going to add some more depth. They're going to add some veteran leadership, some veteran qualities, and they're going to allow you, hopefully, to develop the guys under them so that when you do start building through the high school ranks, you can continue to have, older players who are in line to be starters and play bigger roles on your team, as opposed to bringing in high schoolers and needing them to contribute right away. You're going to have to go into the transfer portal at this point in time, probably just to help supplement your roster.
Yeah. So when we go forward here in the show, I definitely want to, when we come back, talk about Nebraska's need at the quarterback position, right? That's the biggest conversation all offseason. We're going to talk about it endlessly, I would assume. But here, as the transfer portal is really starting to, get some players into it, Nebraska needs to figure out what they want to be before they go out and figure out who they want to get. And so there's got to be some self-scouting, I think.
Yeah.
It's also putting Marcus Satterfield in a very difficult position, I think, because you're not going to be able to show a quarterback anything from Nebraska.
No.
Because it's going to be hard to convince a quarterback to come here if you show them Nebraska tape.
If you show them what you did
this year,
you're not getting a quarterback.
You can show them wide receivers, but I think when you look at Nebraska, they need help on the perimeter, right? There's a lot of good young bodies there, but do we believe that there's a Trey Palmer there for next year? Not sure. What's the running back room situation? Who's all returning? All these answers or questions are going to sort themselves out, certainly. But for right now, it's kind of fun to have the conversation less than a week removed from Nebraska's season coming to an end. Let's go ahead and take our first time out. Once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line. Let us know, who do you want Nebraska to get? Who in your mind, right? What type of guy, if there's a name out there that you want, feel free to text it in. And just because I kind of want to get a pulse on Husker Nation here. So 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Both of those open for you guys, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo Channel 951. You can always follow us on Twitter as well, or X, Nick_Sainer, at Radio Rico AC. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue the happy hour on a Tuesday coming up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
John Deere Dealer invites you to attend our upcoming Parts and Service Expo events. It's the best time to buy parts all year. Take advantage of specials December 6th through the 15th with additional savings the day of your local expo. Find savings on oil and filters, gifts for under the tree, and most pre-ordered John Deere parts. Visit with our trained and certified technicians and sign up for our service specials. Don't miss out. It only comes around once a year at your local Landmark Implement. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for a complete schedule of our expo events and experience the Landmark difference.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through December 5th is spend $75 and get a 2-pound prepackaged pecano roast for free. Limit 3 per visit while supplies last. Also, through the 5th, get 20% off all cheese and crackers. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Red!
It's fishing season. Bad actors are trolling your business emails, luring you and your employees to take the bait and steal your private information. Make sure your cybersecurity keeps your business from being the catch of the day. At Hamilton, cybersecurity is our business. We are experts at keeping your network and business information secure and off the hook. Contact Hamilton for a vulnerability assessment today. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Are you looking for some holiday fun? This year, start a new tradition. Make the Nebraska Christmas Light Show experience an annual event for your family and a cherished memory to look forward to every year. From Black Friday to January 3rd, buckle up and tune into the rhythm of the lights and let the magic of Christmas take over with the show. Now located at Star City Shores, just off of 27th and Highway 2. Buy your tickets for just $20 or $25 per car today at NebraskaChristmasLightShow.com.
My dream was to work in commercial banking. but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Join me, Sip, and Coach Bush for Early Break this Friday, December 1st at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge. Call today to reserve your free lane for free bowling at 402-467-3249. And if you don't bowl, still enjoy free coffee and donuts. That's this Friday for the 60th anniversary of Madsen's Bowling and Billiards. Early Break from 6 to 8 on location.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Whether it's playing on a sports team or creating art, it's important to encourage your kids to explore their interests. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Let your child know you believe in their passions. It can contribute to your child's focus and improve the quality of their schoolwork, too. So show that budding scientist some encouragement by helping them with an experiment or play catch with your baseball enthusiast.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Huge shout out to Charlie Proper Interiors for making our 93.7 The Ticket studio ready for the Christmas season. Nick and Donovan came in. They even came back today.
Yeah, they did.
They even came back today.
Check everything out.
Decorated our entire station, hung some stuff for us. So if you need any help with greenery, trees, lights, and more during this holiday season, don't look anywhere else but to Charlie Proper Interiors online at charlieproper.design. It looks awesome in here. Come on down, 1040 O Street. Grab yourself a cup of Mill Coffee as well as Beatrice Bakery. Come hang out with us, say what's up, and who knows? I'm sure Rico will probably give you a high five or something. So
I'll consider it.
402-464-5685. The Honda Lincoln Hotline and the Starter Heyman text line are both open for you guys the entire show today. Real quick segment here as we dive in. Once again, if you missed any of the breaking news before, Noah Kim entered the transfer portal at the start of the show, as well as Ethan Kaliak-Manis. Kaliak-Manis, obviously from Minnesota, the starting quarterback for the Golden Gophers, who Nebraska lost to in game one. For Kansas State, people might be asking you, hey, why in the world is Will Howard and the backup or third string quarterback in this instance leaving? They have a dude coming in. Avery Johnson is an absolute dude for Kansas State. Chris Kleiman, he's going to try to stay afloat, I should say, in that Big 12 conference, in a conference where I'm interested to see what the national perception of the Big 12 conference is going forward. You're going to lose Oklahoma and Texas, as we know, but you're going to obviously bring in teams like they brought in
Arizona,
UCF, BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, as we know, but then you bring in Arizona
State, Utah.
That's right.
Was there another one?
I believe that was it.
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
I feel like you are too, but that's it.
I'm pretty sure there were four. Whatever.
But nonetheless, Cal.
Yes.
Right? Cal. No, not Cal.
Cal and Stanford are going to the ACC.
Cal and Stanford going to ACC. This is rough.
Who is the other one?
It's not Oregon State.
It's not USC.
Nope.
It's not UCLA. It's not Oregon. It's not Washington. It's not Oregon State. It's not Washington State. Who is the other team in the Pac-12? Colorado.
There you go. Nice job. So anyway,
they're very forgettable.
Yeah, they are. And they're losing a lot of players to the transfer.
Their quarterback has a broken back.
Yeah.
Kind kind of broken. What did they? Something.
Anyway, nonetheless, I'm curious to see what the national perception is, right? Because while Utah's a really good brand, obviously Arizona is one of the hottest teams in the country right now.
People love it.
Shout out to Noah Fafita.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if Noah Fafita enters the portal,
yeah, I say you want him.
There's a guy.
There are two quarterbacks that Nick really wants at Nebraska: Noah Fafita and your man.
Yeah, DeQuan Finn's probably up there. I would also, but okay, so like I talked about Will Rogers when it was announced that he was going to kind of survey the land and enter the portal before they hired Jeff Lebby.
Yeah,
and Will Rogers, I think, needs to stay at Mississippi State.
That offense would fit him
because the offense fits him well. Mississippi State is also a very friendly offense to quarterbacks, like whether it was under Mike Leach, rest in peace to the coach, but like whether it was under Mike Leach or whether it was under Zach Arnett or now under Jeff Lebby, you would expect it to be pretty friendly to quarterbacks. Will Rogers,
who was the guy that was there before?
Dan Mullen.
There you go.
But nonetheless, when you look at Mississippi State, friendly to quarterbacks, and that seems like a spot. Will Rogers now, does he feel like they can win at a high percentage? Maybe not.
Yeah.
They're somewhat little brother in the state of Mississippi behind Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. So if he wants to move on, is an SEC team looking for a quarterback? I don't know. Like you go down the list, Texas isn't. Oklahoma may be after Dylan Gabriel transfers out, but like I'm curious what the fit is for a guy like Will Rogers, because unfortunately it's probably not at Nebraska if the staff continues to do the things that they say they want to do. And
he's a high-level
not
SEC,
throwing the ball 50 yards or 50 times a game.
He's a high-level SEC quarterback. It's not like he's going to take a step down. It's not like he had a bad year and that's why he's transferring. I think he's transferring to try and get some more wins under his belt and prepare himself more for the NFL. But look, staying at Mississippi State might be your best bet with running our offense under Jeff Lebby and getting all those yards and touchdowns up to help yourself rise in the NFL draft prospect rankings. But
so it goes back.
You can't really. I don't like you said. I don't see him transferring to. It's hard to see a high level quarterback looking at Nebraska, looking at what their offense put up last year, and saying, "Yeah, that's what I want to do."
And I guess that goes on to the conversation of you got to find guys around him, right? Like you look at quarterbacks that are excelling this year, right? It's Jaden Daniels at LSU, and obviously these are going to be the extreme, and Nebraska's not going to get a Heisman contender in the portal this year. They're not going to be able to get a guy that's going to win the O'Brien Award, the Davey O'Brien Award for the best quarterback in the country.
You might.
Like,
I doubt
it. So here's the thing. Let's talk about the extreme situations, right? Jaden Daniels at LSU, he goes from Arizona State under Herm Edwards, where there wasn't much stability, it felt like, going to LSU, where Brian Kelly comes in and obviously doesn't, like, it's not off to a roaring start in Baton Rouge, but he gets a guy on the perimeter in Malik Neighbors who's one of the 3 finalists for the Blitnikoff, right? That certainly helps out. Then you find a guy at another program, Michael Penix Jr. What do you have? You have a really good season at a place like Indiana. You get your head coach Tom Allen an extension for a while after a successful season, I believe in 2019 or 2020. Then you transfer out, go to Washington, where they once again find another wide receiver one. And a guy's name I can't pronounce. It's like Odunzi. But he's one of the 3 finalists for the Blitnikoff, right? Bo Nix at Oregon, right? Not a great time at Auburn.
His freshman year.
He had a decent year, nothing compared to the 2 years at Oregon.
No.
And I think he completed around 63% of his passes through his first 3 years with the Auburn Tigers. So then you go to Oregon, they put guys like Bucky Irving around him, right? And now here he is with only 2 interceptions or 3 interceptions on the year and 30 touchdowns with almost 3,900 passing yards.
Mm-hmm.
So relaying that and bringing that back to Nebraska, right? Does Nebraska have a guy? And I think you have to figure out what you want to ask your team to do. If you want to be a defense first team, that's totally fine. I think Nebraska fans would rally around that. I know they would. But offensively, you need to decide what you want to be. You need to decide whether or not you want to be this ground and pound Big Ten, traditional style of team. If you want to be the South Carolina Gamecocks that Marcus Satterfield ran the offense for back a couple of years ago, with Spencer Rattler and guys like that? Or do you want to have this blend of a quarterback that can run better than he throws with a mix of a solid running back as well? I don't think, like, I'm in this boat. You hear all the time, Rico, we need to run the ball. We need a fullback. We need the I formation. We need to use our offensive line. Like, I'm in this mentality of I don't give a crap what mentality or what identity you want to have. It's that find the guys to fit that and then use them in the correct way. Like, this might be
don't try to run a spread offense when you're trying to line up in an I formation.
Well, this might be like a very hot take, and I don't mean to bring like Scott Frost up on this show, but like we always talk about how Scott Frost's offense never worked in Nebraska. Like, it didn't work, but frankly, was it ever given like the complete and true effort that needed to be? Like, if you don't use Wan'Dale Robinson as the third down running back, and like, that's the coach's fault entirely. Don't get me wrong.
If you're not trying to run a 5'9" wide receiver through between the tackles.
That's the thing, is for years, and this is where it comes to the program conversation, for years here, it's been a matter of Nebraska not having the talent for or guys or body types for what they want to do on offense, and then actually applying them in those situations, right? Like,
Nebraska
I just look at, like, going forward for Nebraska, identify what you want to do, and then it's like a 3-part thing. Identify what you want to do, 4-part. Identify the talent, bring in the talent, and then use the talent in that exact same way.
In the correct way. Because right now what Nebraska is doing is getting talented players, or what they have been doing is getting talented players who don't run the type of offense that they then try to run with them.
Yeah, and that's
they
where
don't
it's like,
they don't set their offense and then try to build into their offense. They get the player. They have an offensive idea, but then they get players who fit. They get different players who fit different types of offenses. They'll get power running backs and spread wide receivers. They'll get tight ends who maybe aren't the best inline blockers but can catch passes, while also getting tight ends who are great at blocking and not good at pass catching. They're blending all of these players together and then trying to put the wrong players running the wrong type of things. They're trying to get speed running backs lining up in the I formation and running between the tackles. They're trying to have their big boy running backs running outside of the tackles and trying to outrun linebackers and corners, and it's not going to work out until you do what you were saying in identifying the talent and finding what you want to run and utilizing those players in the correct manner.
The simplest way to put it is you're asking guys to do things that they're not fit for. That's the simple way to put it.
You're
right?
asking a fish to climb a tree.
And so when you look at Nebraska, I just think there's 4 things that got to happen, right? And you can take care of a couple of them in the offseason that, frankly, maybe last year Nebraska didn't. And obviously hindsight's 2020.
They thought they did.
But you look at, like, identifying a quarterback here, right? You need to be able to tell that quarterback a plan of what you want to do offensively, and then say, this is why we want to do this, because we have the guys for that. And frankly, you shouldn't be talking to that quarterback unless he fits that style as well. So it's that identification part of it. Bring in the talent, and then you're able to execute, right? But part of the also, I think, struggle with executing on Saturdays that we saw over the season. Yeah, the turnovers and fumbles are one thing. You can have those no matter what type of style you play in.
Mm-hmm.
But the decision-making and the concepts and the IQ, that all needs to be identified in step 1. So that way, in step 4, there's no question about this guy's IQ, right? Like, we talk about Jeff Sims, obviously, because he was the transfer portal quarterback that this staff specifically went out and brought in. Jeff Sims was never a 65% complete passer. The staff may have believed that they could elevate him to be a 65% complete passer, but at the start of the fall camp, or I should say at the start, right before August 31st in that game against Minnesota, you hear Marcus Satterfield will be like, yeah, Jeff Sims is around a 65% completion percentage. We're all sitting here going, that's great. But then there's the disconnect, and you have to wonder then, was he ever at that 65% completion percentage? Because they were asking Jeff Sims to do things that didn't fit what Jeff Sims was best at.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's this weird situation of having to identify and look yourself in the mirror and say, all right, what do we want to do? And that's where I continue to go back. Like, obviously, I've done, the morning show with Raph and AD. With Raph, and if Raph's listening, he can attest to this. It's I formation, fullback, run the ball down their throats. That's great if you have the personnel for it.
If that's what you want to do.
Nebraska hasn't had the personnel for it. So then I go back and be like, you know what? If you want to have a blend, if you want to have a hybrid type of feel to where you have the ability to do that, but then also can air it out a little bit, you need a quarterback that can throw the ball and make good decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You need a quarterback that understands the offense and the concepts, and you need a power running game. Nebraska doesn't have that. So then it's, if you want to have a complete, I don't want to say air raid, but spread or air raid type of offense, you need to have the bodies for that. And then you can throw in the other pieces of the weather and the conference that you play in and the type of scoring games. I also think like part of that's going to go away the bigger the Big Ten gets. Like in November against USC on the road, you're not going to need to run the ball. It's not going to be that Iowa 13-10 game. You might need to score a couple of points.
You're not going to be able to line up in the I formation and just maybe you'll be able to pound it, but
if
at
you
the same time, they're going to score quick.
If you're good enough at it, you can. And that's what's called having an identity. And Nebraska, this goes back throughout previous staffs, just needs to figure out what they want to do, and they need to recruit to it. And then in the game, decide the personnel decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Don't recruit to speed and then ask your possession receiver to go run a fly, or don't run a wide receiver screen and ask the fourth shiftiest guy on the roster to go out and make two guys miss in space. Those are where disconnects happen, and that's been the situation with Nebraska, unfortunately. So they have talent.
Yeah,
it's just not being utilized in the correct way. Number one, maybe not even being identified in the correct way that where they should even be here. And that's no hard feelings. That's just a business, because now we're bringing money into it. And if you're going to pay a guy $500,000 to come be a quarterback, that's fine. But if you're going to pay a guy $500,000 to be a running quarterback in an offense that you want to throw the ball 50 times a game, it's not going to work.
That was the disconnect at the beginning.
And I'm not saying I just put the 500,000 on just a dollar. But that's not accurate in Nebraska.
But that was the major disconnect, because you remember at the beginning of the season, when they had Jeff Sims and he was pretty much going to be the starter, they're talking about the quarterback run game, and they're talking about how they're going to run the quarterback a decent amount, and whatever type of faith they had in their running backs. I think we all forgot about that portion of it, because that's what they did. They relied on that quarterback run game. The turnovers were obviously a major concern, but they did exactly what they told us they were going to do, and they relied on the quarterback run game. But then, at the same time, there's more disconnect, because, as he said, if he let Satterfield, with his guns, he would have thrown it 50 times a game. And they tried throwing it 50 times a game with quarterbacks who were not built to throw the ball 50 times a game.
And that's the thing, is the quarterback run game is great. It can be used as a weapon, as we saw, right? As long as the quarterback has a history of not fumbling the ball. So I just think there's just got to be a lot of soul searching going on. And soul searching doesn't always have to have this negative connotation tied to it. It doesn't have to be. So I think when you look at Nebraska, there's a lot of excitement, because there's an opportunity to kind of wipe the slate clean, identify correct talent in here, and get them into Lincoln and see what next season holds. All right, 402-464-5685. Let's take our final time out. We bring in Strick and Austin for the crossover next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at MidwestBank.com. Member FDIC.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Aetrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
At Koppel Chevrolet GMC, we are thankful for so many things this year, starting with our great employees, a generous community, our military personnel, and most importantly, our loyal customer base that continues to drive that money-saving mile of Louisville. Hi, this is Sean Callahan, and on behalf of everybody at Koppel, we want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and safe travels to wherever they may take you. Happy holidays from Koppel Chevrolet GMC.
The holidays are right around the corner. This is a great year to give your family and loved ones a gift of shoes to encourage them to stay active. Fleet Feet Lincoln fits you properly for shoes, and they offer a free group that meets 3 days a week, plus other training programs and a walking group on Mondays. Get healthy, stay healthy with proper shoe wear from Fleet Feet Lincoln and a group of friends that will support you and keep you accountable. Start your health adventure at Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
John Henry's would like to remind you, if you haven't already, to unhook your outdoor hoses and check faucets for leaks so your pipes don't freeze. As the official plumber of the Huskers, you know who to call when a plumbing issue arises. From frozen pipes to clogged drains, we can help you protect your home this winter. Give John Henry's a call today to schedule at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through December 5th is spend $75 and get a 2-pound prepackaged Pecano roast for free. Limit 3 per visit while supplies last. Also, through the 5th, get 20% off all cheese and crackers. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
So what's this new concept happening at 1040 O Street? There's 93.7 The Ticket, there's The Mill Coffee and Tea, and there's Grandma's Bake Shop and Beatrice Bakery? Well, yeah, it's all of those things. It's a place for the community to hang out, grab a drink and a bite, and just chill, or work, or meet, or chat, or whatever you want to do. 93.7 The Ticket, The Mill Coffee and Tea, Grandma's Bake Shop, and Beatrice Bakery. All together at 1040 O Street.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
Look at me. This plane is going to Jamaica.
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's up? Welcome back in. It's the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, The Ticket FM. Jeez Louise, dude.
I can't hear nothing.
Are you serious?
Turn your headphones up.
Strick,
Don't
you
turn
just
up
you guys
on the
you
trail, bro.
put the volume. That hurts.
Farley
I'm
level?
sorry, I didn't know. I was
All
trying
of a
to
sudden, my
Farley,
voice,
dude.
I sounded like I was yelling because the volume was so loud. Get that
That's mine.
Get away from you.
This is me.
Stricky, you are
Stop
out of line.
touching things.
You want me to help you
Out
out?
of pocket?
Oh, is that too loud? Dang. That's too bad. Sorry, Stricky. Didn't see
Freaking
that.
Nick.
Okay, we're gonna.
I thought we were pals, man.
We
on
are.
Wednesday.
Here's the thing. Whoa, not anymore.
What happened?
Not anymore. Wednesday program dead.
Yeah, I'm back.
Austin's
I'm
working
back.
Wednesdays.
Now the football's
Oh.
over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're dead.
Strick sad.
I didn't know.
Doesn't look sad.
Strick, are you sad?
I'm sad.
Oh, really? He's sad.
He's sad. Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Everyone likes you more than they like me. I get it.
know.
I'm still the new
got
guy.
Austin. No, there are people that still say that. And it's been how long now? 6 months?
I
7?
got here in January.
So almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year.
And they still say new guy.
They still say new guy?
Still saying new
Well,
guy.
I think
Ridiculous.
unfortunately, you'll be the new guy, and I know this from experience. You'll be the new guy until a new guy comes up.
Oh, that's fine. I still feel like the new guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a part of it?
I feel like a part of it, but I also
Okay.
still feel like the new guy.
Austin, do we not make you feel like you belong here?
No, like I feel like I belong, but I still feel like I'm
Well, that's,
getting the hang of the ticket.
that's too bad because we do not think you belong.
Get out.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay.
crazy.
How's baby Herbie?
How's
baby
Herbert?
Yeah.
Doing great. He was 7
eating?
weeks old, so it'll be 8 weeks in a couple days.
Eating
well.
Good.
He's a big boy. Great at tummy time. He's turning that head from
Big
side
boy.
to side pretty well. Up and
Big
down,
boy.
up and down on the sleep. Generally happy.
Good.
Yeah, he's great. I love him.
Good. That's really good.
How many nights have you just lost sleep?
Only once in the last week. That's really as far back as my memory goes anymore.
Nice.
That makes sense.
See, I think Rico's kids. Never mind.
No.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead.
You know I love your kids.
No, go ahead.
You know
Then-
I love your
Then
kids.
say what you were gonna say. Say what you were
I
gonna
think
say.
they're very well behaved.
That's a damn lie. They're not.
Anyway, 464-5685.
Demons.
I think you just gotta like teach them to sleep.
It's very hard.
Anyway,
Very hard.
It's scheduling. Get on schedule.
Just sleep.
Yeah.
It's not that
Why
hard.
don't you just
hey,
sleep.
Well,
sleep.
it's when they start getting that rice and that meal that thing starts settling on that belly, and that's when they
need some
they
Mary
be
Ellen.
like Mary Ellen's.
They
Yeah.
need some Mary
So
Ellen.
I have the terrible habit of when I'm trying to fall asleep and I'm not in bed, like if I'm on the couch or in a chair or something, as soon as I'm about to fall asleep, I'll give that little shudder.
Oh no.
And I did that with Beckett, aka Herbert, the other day.
Yeah, we don't know Beckett.
He was just about like he was on the verge of sleep, and so was I. I did my little
And you
jolt.
twitched.
Wait, you had twins?
He looked up at me. He says,
Hey, hold on. Here's the
Come
question:
on.
have you gotten the silent cry, where you just know it's coming? He starts to the mouth opens,
the tears
start falling, and just no sound comes
Nothing.
out for about 3 seconds.
And
then
that-
all of a sudden,
the only time I saw that happen was when he got his first shot.
Okay.
Oh wow.
So
Yep. 'Cause it
he's got
takes him
more
a-
coming in a week and a half or so.
Oh.
So prepare yourself, little buddy.
it takes them
But,
a second to
Yeah, register.
Herbert,
and they
get ready.
kind of like they poke him in the leg, and they kind of sit there and they're looking at you, and they're just like, "Wait a minute, what? What?" And I told you. You take the bottle, you take the milk, and so as soon as that happens, they start to scream. You give them the bottle, they're good.
Nice.
The issue the
Look at
first
Rico.
time was that he had eaten just before we got there.
That's the problem. You got to hold off.
So
You got to hold off. They're gonna be
Yeah.
hungry, but you'll be fine.
will they be fine? I'm
Tricks,
not so sure.
tricks of the trade.
Yeah. Nyla says, great advice, Nick. If only they just sleep. People are mad at me for my kid takes
because your kid takes are garbage.
It's coming for you, my boy.
Eventually. We'll see what happens. Thunderdog Collins says Austin is no longer the new guy.
Hey, thank you, Thunderdog Collins.
Hey, we haven't heard.
You.
We also haven't heard from Mississippi Mud Dog in a while.
Oh, he's the one.
Yeah, he says other people call you the new guy too. That's crazy. We don't hear from Mississippi Mud Dog as often as we used to.
Yeah, he used to always chime
from
in.
time to time.
They were coming at me for a while until Austin got here. Then he took the
reins.
Took the reins off.
Bearing that cross for you.
So we appreciate it. But anyway, he says got bleep going on, Nick. That's good.
Proud of you, Mud Dog.
Oh, Disc Golf Jake, who's the proud father, maybe just the father of triplets, says best dad advice I've gotten is don't have 3 at once.
Yep. I'm thinking 3 is going to be our sweet spot at some point.
At one total.
It's kind of
we're just gonna keep trying until we get 3 at once.
My wife
kind
wants
of like
twins.
It's kind of like having the the timing, those timing mechanisms to make. It's like that, like trying to get them on the right time together and trying to figure that out.
I think
that's
the goal.
the hardest
I
part.
think the goal is to wait for number 2 until the first one can teach everything to the newborn.
That's not We got a 2-year
15 years in between.
Okay, we got a 2-year age gap, and it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
So
they're actually playing together now.
Yeah,
but he's obviously smaller than her. He's 2, but he's a bully. He's mean sometimes.
Oh.
Like they'll be playing like
Poorly
perfectly fine.
behaved.
They'll be
Poorly
playing
behaved.
perfectly. Sometimes they'll be playing perfectly
Bad
fine,
dad.
and
Bad
then
dad.
he'll just like have his little car, and he'll just stop, and you can see it happen in real time. You see the wheels turn, and he just looks at her, and then he just gets up, and just smacks her.
Why am I going to do this?
But here's the thing, and then Rico wonders why he gets calls from daycare saying, "Hey, KJ gets put in timeout today."
KJ doesn't get put in timeout.
Ellie?
KJ, no, neither one of them.
KJ breaks out of timeout. No cage can hold him.
KJ is the smallest one in his class, but he's like the ringleader because he's the one that can like talk the best.
Wow.
Talk the most.
Do you guys read books?
Let's just talk the most. And we read books to him. He's really just making stuff up as he goes.
Our
along.
link to literacy people would tell you that reading is the best thing you can do for a child.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Big fan of reading.
Babaloo says, I have a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old, and they still don't sleep, so good luck. Hey, well, here's the thing. Get them off that Fortnite.
Seriously.
Coming from you.
Cut the internet off.
I got 2
Cut the internet off at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
My kids don't play video games. Heck, I don't even play video games.
I'm all about video games right now. I got nothing better to do with my life. Football season's over. I mean, here we are.
That's a slap in the face to 7-0 Nebraska men's basketball.
I was saying,
Thank you very
it's
much.
no longer crossover season. It's now just basketball. But when you got a week in between each game, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
It's not like volleyball's not in the NCAA tournament.
Not till Friday.
Are they playing today? Are they playing Monday through Thursday?
Is men's basketball playing today?
That's exactly my point.
Ridiculous.
Anyway,
the women play tomorrow.
My 3-year-old whoops my 8-year-old's butt all the time, shaking my head.
Dude,
that's sad.
Kids, those second kids, man.
If I told you guys there was a men's basketball game tonight between Winthrop and Bob Jones, would you believe me?
Who's Bob Jones?
Does
that's a very small college.
Does Dubio KK still play for Winthrop?
Dubio KK is playing for the Greensboro Swarm in the G League.
Damn
Oh
straight he
my
is.
gosh! Hey, more. Who is your guys' favorite player between these two? Dubio KK, Kevin Cross.
Kevin Cross.
Hands down. The idea of
Do you remember Kevin Cross?
I just like KK.
The idea of
I like
Doobie.
Oh, Doobie. Okay.
The idea of Dubio KK as this 6'8", just walking muscle that could run to the top of the backboard. It was
Leslie
great.
Smith.
Except he fouled every 13
Yes,
seconds the same
right.
time.
Just a walking muscle.
I mean, that's like Leslie Smith. Like you knew he wasn't going to
Leslie
score
Smith.
more than 4 points in a game, but they were like, "Yeah, we're going to put Leslie down low, just kind of take up space." He was like the Damian Daniels of the Nebraska basketball.
No,
Dubio KK is an
Damian was
enforcer
much
and a
better,
lob
though.
threat. I love the idea of it, just never fully came to fruition.
Give me Tulane Kevin Cross.
Yeah,
Tulane Kevin
He's still there,
Kevin
isn't he?
Cross was a problem. He like transferred out and then went back. He like went from Nebraska to Tulane, left Tulane to go somewhere else, and then back to Tulane.
Wow, second chances.
And I love that about him.
Shirky, what you doing over there?
Nothing.
Is that solitaire?
Minesweeper.
That
You
paint?
guys are amazing.
What's the one with the little caterpillar type thing? I don't know what it's called.
I don't know either.
Okay, Kevin Cross this year
you
is
guys are
averaging 19 points a game.
Hell yeah.
Whoa!
Hell yeah.
Shooting
What did he shoot
60
from three?
From three, he is shooting 44%.
Oh my gosh, Kevin Cross!
So Kevin Cross this year, see the totals. He is 4 of 9 from three, 28 of 45 from the floor, or 32 of 54 overall, 28 of 45 on twos, 43 boards, 19 assists to 11 turnovers, 7
Not
steals,
bad.
6 blocks.
Give me Kevin Cross or give
All
me
right, so
death.
so I need this trivia question before we get out of here. Because
Was it a better move, real quick?
Go ahead.
Was it a better move for Caleb Love to Arizona as opposed to Michigan?
Yeah.
Big time.
Yes. Yeah.
For everyone
I
involved.
think it's uncomfortable up there with Juwan Howard right now.
Yeah.
Michigan's bad. I told you before the year.
Just don't
okay.
call any timeouts.
I need to know who your guys' favorite
You got that one.
Nebraska basketball player from the years 2020 to 2022 were.
Oh.
Favorite basketball player from 2020 to 2022. Because Kevin Cross is on that list from the freshman from Little Rock, Arkansas.
I got it. And it's from one game.
Okay.
One game. Mississippi Valley State. Nana Kenton.
Nana Kenton. Well, he was much earlier than 2020, but
Who we got?
okay, so we got Jervay Green, Hanif Cheatham. We'll forever forget when Jervay put up like 50 or 60 in the Western Nebraska Community College
Shut up, Jervay.
game, and everybody freaked out about
He
it.
shot like 98% from the free throw line.
Okay, let's see. Let's go back. Let's go 2020, 2021, in a season where Nebraska basketball, probably finished with like 5 wins.
I mean, the obvious answer is
You gotta
7
hate
and 21.
Tony Buckets, but he was interesting.
Teddy Buckets?
Teddy Buckets.
Teddy Buckets. Hey,
He was interesting to see as far as what he was going to do on a given night.
I mean, the obvious answer for me
It was
is
entertainment.
Bjarnason, the GOAT.
a guy I really
Backdoor
wish,
Thor.
Backdoor
would have
Thor.
stayed was, oh my gosh, I just missed it. Shamil Stevenson. I liked the way Shamil Stevenson could play.
I actually thought
Keon Edwards
Siobhan
also.
Shields should have stayed.
I like the idea of Shamil.
I didn't think he. What he
Siobhan
left early.
Shields?
Wait, which
Oh,
one
yeah.
left early?
Terran Petaway?
No.
Delano?
No. I actually thought he
Trey
should have stayed too.
McGowan's?
No.
3-point shooter at Syracuse.
No. He was at Oklahoma City.
Oh,
Isaiah Roby.
Roby.
Oh, Isaiah
I
Roby.
thought Roby should have
We're
stayed.
just gonna go through everybody that left early.
Yeah. I thought he should have stayed one.
Anyway, I'd say
Yeah.
Trey McGowan is my favorite player from that era.
Nice.
Big Trey McGowan's guy.
No Cam
Yeah,
Max,
I love
no.
the fact. I love the way he got after a defense. He
I
reminded me of
agree.
me.
I agree.
McGowan.
Hey,
There it is.
Okay.
It never failed.
Hey,
Like during our time.
hey, pay the
never
$2.99 to get the ads off of Solitaire.
Yeah.
What if you had a lineup of 2 McGowans,
Uh-huh.
Greasel, Walker, and throw in a 4-man? What do you think about that?
Buck?
I like
Okay,
the idea
repeat
of
that one
Wilhelm
again?
Life.
Yeah.
What was that?
Give me that again.
Both
So-
McGowans.
2 McGowans, Trey and Bryce,
Uh-huh.
Sam Greasel, Derek Walker, and throw in a 4-man.
Rink Master.
Ring Mast. That's
Just
a
not
nice,
Alec.
Hey, that's a nice 5.
Ring Master.
I actually like Rink because he can stretch and Derek can kind of work on the inside, so
That's
it keeps them both from
So
staying
is
around
Derek
each
the 4 and Rink the 5 in that lineup, or is
Yes.
Rink the 4 and Derek the 5?
other. I'd put Derek at the 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would as well. Yeah.
I think that team's winning 17, 18 games at
I
least.
think that team is tough.
So if you guys had to
I
put,
think rebounding, because Derek didn't. He could have rebounded better for me. I think if
Yeah.
they would have, they could have won more games.
But Mast,
Yeah.
Greasel,
But he does
and
make up.
Trey.
Yeah, I
That's
like
Trey
that.
would go get it.
That's a
Trey
nice,
would go get it.
those 3 would
I would
rebound.
even throw in Juwan. I'd throw in Gary.
Gary in that mix for
I
sure.
could throw him in that mix.
Mhm.
If
Six
even
man?
if you had, I'd throw him in there for Derek Walker. To be honest,
Sure. I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with that.
I like that
Rink-
for the offense.
Yeah, on the offensive side.
all right, folks. So there's 24 games left.
Correct.
Give me a win total. 24 games remain. I need to know a win total.
I actually think they
Including
get
the
to 20.
7 or out of.
I think they get to 20 wins this year.
Okay. So that would put them.
I'm going to say 19 or
so
20.
there's 24 games left. That puts them at,
It'd be
let's see, 20,
13 and 11,
13, 11.
give or take the rest of the way.
13 and 11.
The rest
Well,
of the
with
way. The rest
adding
of the way.
to
So
the
you'd
7
be
already.
20 and
Thanks,
11
Seth.
I
overall.
think they get to 20 wins.
Okay.
Is that 20 wins the benchmark for a tourney bid, you guys think?
Depends on how good the Big Ten is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the conference, and it depends on who you beat, really, more
Yeah.
than anything. I mean, you can't
Mhm.
lose any stupid ones. But if you get 2 of the next 4,
I mean, if you're going,
you're
13.
sitting pretty. If you beat Wisconsin, that's big. Ohio State's playing well.
Yeah.
You get them in Lincoln, that's big. You can split with Wisconsin and be fine. I think you want to get Illinois once. Yeah, you can split with Ohio State, and that's fine. You can split with Rutgers. I think that's probably okay. I don't think you'll be able to afford to lose to Michigan in the last game. You got to sweep Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Got to beat Penn State. Got to split with Indiana. You'll play them twice.
Yeah.
Northwestern on the road. I don't think they're as good as they were last year. I think that one's gettable, but Welsh Ryan Arena is where good basketball goes to die for Nebraska.
The problem is if you're going 13-11 down the rest of the stretch, you're going to lose some bad ones.
I think 20 is in play. I think it's in play. I don't know if I'm confident enough to say they'll get there. Give me Nebraska going 500 the rest of the way, 19-12 going into the Big Ten tournament.
Okay. Here's what's interesting. I want to have this conversation tomorrow before we get out of here real quick. Tomorrow, I want to have the conversation of Nebraska has a path here if they get 2 of the next 4, right? Which is very realistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether you steal against Creighton, whether you steal against Michigan State, or you take a couple of the road wins against Minnesota and Kansas State. Kansas State not nearly as good as they were last year.
Not the same.
So you look at those 4 and then the 2 after. You feel good about the 2 after it, North Dakota and South Carolina State, right? We're talking about this Nebraska team being 11-2 going into the rest of Big Ten conference play. I think if you would have said that at the start of the year with your 2 losses going, just by ranks here, Creighton and Michigan State,
you'd take that.
I think you take that. Like
absolutely.
That's not a Minnesota loss. That's not a North Dakota loss. That's not a Stony Brook loss.
No.
That's 2 losses to 2 ranked opponents.
You would take that at the beginning of the season. You take that now. That's not even.
All right, we got about a minute left here. What's on the show today, gentlemen?
Jerry Bohannon transferring again, signed with Matt Rule in 2018.
Wow.
Add him to your list.
Add him to my list.
That you're keeping track of.
Baylor?
Yeah, from USF.
USF, so South Florida.
Big fan of South Florida.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, P, Q, R, S.
What are we doing?
Had to make sure I got the
Strickland. ST.
I know. I put it in alphabetical order, though.
To answer your question, we're talking a little Aaron Rodgers. Why is he pushing his rehab so hard? Is there more to it? Stricky sent an interesting article we'll get into. College football playoff overview. 8 teams with 0 or 1 loss. We'll talk about that. And Teach Tape Tuesday. Might have some college football coaching carousel stuff, transfer portal, whatever's on our mind.
There you go. All right, stick around on the block. Strick and Austin coming up next. That'll do it for us. We'll talk to you guys mañana.
Adios.
The holidays are right around the corner. This is a great year to give your family and loved ones a gift of shoes to encourage them to stay active. Fleet Feet Lincoln fits you properly for shoes, and they offer a free group that meets 3 days a week, plus other training programs and a walking group on Mondays. Get healthy, stay healthy with proper shoe wear from Fleet Feet Lincoln and a group of friends that will support you and keep you accountable. Start your health adventure at Fleet Feet Lincoln at 77th and Pioneers.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through December 5th is spend $75 and get a 2-pound prepackaged Pecano roast for free. Limit 3 per visit while supplies last. Also, through the 5th, get 20% off all cheese and crackers. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
When it comes to tackling your fall projects, having the right equipment can make a huge difference.